I went back to my hometown to visit my wife's grave. It had been 3 years since she passed away. I was sobbing so hard I could barely breathe. Beside me, her older brother Grant stood in silence, nursing a cigarette. That night, while we were drinking together, he threw out a question as if it meant nothing. By the way, did you and Jenna have a friend in the bureau? Someone named Arthur Miller? The hand holding my glass trembled violently. Arthur Miller wasn't a real person. He was a secret code Jenna and I had agreed upon years ago, after watching a detective movie. If either of us ever met with foul play, we were supposed to find a way to pass that name along. It was a signal to the other. I was murdered. So why the hell was that name coming out of her brother's mouth? But I froze, staring at Grant Sterling in a daze, unable to find my voice. 5 years ago, my wife Jenna and I watched a gripping crime thriller. After the movie, Jenna was still buzzed from the adrenaline, cuddling into my chest. "Babe, we should have a special code too," she whispered. "If anything ever happens to one of us, we have to get that name to the other. It means the death wasn't an accident. We were regular people with regular jobs and regular lives. We didn't have enemies. Who would want to kill us?" Jenna was so excited. A year later, she found out she was pregnant. When she was 8 months along, my wife fell to her death from the roof of a strange apartment building 10 miles from home. She and the baby didn't make it. The official cause of death? Suicide due to prenatal depression. When I got the news, my entire world collapsed. I went crazy trying to appeal the case, demanding a deeper investigation. But Grant, her brother, and a top psychological consultant for the police, stopped me himself. I knew about Jenna's depression, Caleb. I was the one supervising her treatment. She didn't want you to worry, so she kept it from you. She sent me a text before she did it. She said she wanted you to let her go and live a good life. She didn't want you to be unhappy because of her, or her soul wouldn't find peace. So Caleb, for Jenna's sake, you have to move on. Stop being so obsessed. Under his constant guidance, I finally crawled out of the shadows and back into a normal life. But now, because of one sentence, I was back in that cold, rainy night 3 years ago. Seeing my silence, the smile on Grant's face faded slightly. "What's wrong?" I kept my face blank, staring at him for a long beat before suddenly forcing a laugh. "Sorry, Grant. I haven't drank in a while. It hit me harder than I thought." "What did you say? Arthur who? I don't remember anyone by that name." He squinted at me, trying to see if I was lying or telling the truth. But a second later, I grabbed his shoulder and vomited all over the floor. 10 minutes later, we were at a bathhouse down the street. Grant tried to help me to the showers, but I sat down on the locker room bench and waved him off. "I'm still dizzy, Grant. Let me sit here for a second. You go ahead. Leave your dirty clothes there. I'll take them to the laundry service in a bit." Grant looked reluctant, but he couldn't stand the smell of vomit on his clothes. "I'll do a quick rinse. You stay here. I'll handle the clothes myself when I'm done." Grant stood at the door, watching me for a few seconds before finally disappearing into the showers. The moment he was gone, I bolted upright. I lunged for his clothes and dug out his phone. The year Jenna died, he had changed his passcode to 1117 right in front of me. It was his and Jenna's shared birthday. It unlocked instantly. I went straight to the call logs and scrolled back 3 years to that late autumn day. On the day Jenna died, there was only one call record for Grant. 5:28 p.m., an outgoing call to Jenna. That was exactly 2 hours before she hit the pavement. My brain was buzzing. I immediately tapped on Jenna's profile to check their messages. The last text was sent at 5:23 p.m. that afternoon. Jenna had sent it. "Grant, I found your biggest secret. Don't you think you owe me an explanation?" Those words exploded in my mind like a bomb. What secret had she found? Did that secret have everything to do with her death? I didn't have time to think. I whipped out my own phone and snapped a photo of the text. Just as I shoved his phone back into his jacket pocket, the shower door swung